Hello everyone, it's Scott again with another episode of AndroiPad TV. Some people ask me the question, where'd you come up with the name AndroiPad? Well, obviously it's a combination of Android and iPad. And then they ask, is iOS and Android a contradiction? And I tell them no. I actually like to say that they can play nice if you allow them to. And for that reason, I've chosen Android as my platform of choice for smartphones, but iOS is my platform of choice for tablets. Today we're going to be exploring 10 reasons why I love iOS on a tablet and 10 reasons why I love Android on a phone. And feel free to use the link to click back and forth to see my reviews of both. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy. The first case I'd like to make for iOS involves iTunes integration. iTunes is actually a really awesome application which, although it can be slightly cumbersome and slow at times, and maybe that's more of a PC issue than a Mac issue, I'm not sure. But it's great because it integrates, all of your music. You can create playlists. It can integrate your movies, which you can download easily to your devices, TV shows, podcasts, books. So it's got a great book library. Of course, your applications you can download directly from iTunes or from the App Store, and then you can easily update your applications right here. Simple as that. The second case for iOS is its ability to back up everything, every single application and all of its data in an integrated fashion. And so if there's ever a problem, I can quickly go here to my device. I can create a sync which will back up everything right there, or if there's a problem I can connect it to the USB cable and restore the device to its exact settings I had it before, or factory reset it. And it's just really simple, and all of your stuff gets restored exactly as you left it off. And I should mention that all of this backup can be done to the device without even need of a jailbreak, whereas Android you definitely need to root it and get an application called Titanium Backup to do a similar function. The next case for iOS and iPad as a platform is its gaming. It definitely has a better selection than the Android market, and just better games overall, things that you can't find in the Android market. A lot of the great applications that are Android are also in iOS too, but the reverse isn't always necessarily true. Case in point, the classic arcade game NBA Jam.
Ready?
And so I can control it.
Boston wins the tip.
Yeah. So as you see, it's got a bunch of controls and stuff like that, and really quite fun to play once you get the hang of it. And of course I can't play it very well one-handed. Also, they got great applications here for kids. Another one of my favorites, Go Gadget. For this, I just need to touch the screen and I jump, collect all these things. Of course, they got games similar to this on Android, but it's just the amount of classic, fun games like this that they've got on iOS that definitely make it superior in gaming. Related to that point, there's just a bunch of great little kids apps, things that are just really that my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, just loves, and my 1-year-old son can also play. It's just ridiculous because I give them my Android phone and they could get lost. Well, my daughter does pretty well in it because I've created folders and stuff for her, but my son not so much. But like, this is a fairy tale that's really fun. Daughter just loves this.
Touch the top button.
And it's a whole little story and stuff that
Master Lord
children can read.
With my friend
So there just seems to be a better variety and more applications that kids can enjoy and do. Like this one here, it'll play music. If I can get it to play here. So I'll play music here, and then I can spin it around. I don't know if that's very easy to see on the... See, I can go into these... It just plays my music, and actually what this is a giant playlist, and it's just really fun to play with. My daughter loves this. I can go to this song, Bésame Mucho, play that. I guess we're listening to Bésame Mucho. Okay. Can fly to M. Play the monkeys. And there we go. And I guess related to all of that too is the point of just overall simplicity. You know, it's just very intuitive. You flip here. These are obviously folders, and inside of here I'm going to have puzzle games. You know, it's very intuitive that the design is so simplistic anybody could get it. And that's why it's so good for toddlers and children to pick up and play. You know, Android devices just really aren't built to be that simple. My next point could actually be thought of as just as much of a negative as a positive, but again, it's just there's very little setup. I mean, every single iOS device functions and looks virtually the same. I mean, you can put some different wallpaper on it or things like that to kind of customize it, but you know, customization is really limited in iOS. And you know, that's, you know, maybe a drawback to some, but also it could be seen as that's exactly what I want. I don't want to have to spend hours setting it up out of the box. I just want to plug it in and play, and that's what iOS is good at. Another great thing about iOS is it's app deals. It's got a number of apps that notify you whenever there's free applications, and there's literally just tons of free applications every single day. So I can go to today's hot deals and see if we can see this. It's going to be kind of hard. But you know, I can look at these, see the stars, and see the prices that they're at. So these are the hot deals, and there's obviously some that are free. And so I can get Boat Racer today for free. And then I can go here down to now free. And so all of these are free. And I can filter this to show me just iPad or just iPhone apps or universal applications. There's zoom in there. It's universal, it's free. Black Candidate's got 5 stars. So hey, maybe I want to check that out. I don't know what that is. So I can check that out. So here we've got App Shopper, and I can create a wish list, and it will notify me every time there's a price drop in an application. So Battlefield Bad Company today dropped from $2.99 to 99 cents. It's on sale. Maybe I should buy it today. You know, I create this whole wish list of applications that I want to buy, and it'll notify me when there's either an update or price drop or price increase. I can set whatever notifications I want. Android definitely does not. The closest thing they have is the Amazon App Store, which gives you 1 free app a day, and this gives you literally dozens of free apps every single day. Next point for iOS is the total number of apps. You know, of course, quality always is going to matter more than quality, but there's just a number, just thousands and thousands of quality applications that iOS has. And I think at last count they had something like 400,000 total applications and over 100,000 for iPad alone. And that's just incredible considering that the tablet is so new, and that Android, I'm not sure how many they have now for their tablets, but you know, it's probably around 10,000 or so. I'm probably going to get a bunch of people correcting me on saying that, but nevertheless, it's far less as far as just Android tablet specific applications versus iPad specific applications. So if you want a ton of applications, then of course your choice would be iOS. The 9th point for iOS would be its app integration across platforms. So you can get virtually the same types of applications for iPhone 3GS as you can for the iPhone 4S, or iPad can run, you know, your iPhone apps as well. You know, just the ability to push your updates to your device across all devices because of its mass integration. So I'm already updated, it says, to 5.0.1, the newest software. And you know, ask any Android user what the latest software, what his OS is currently, and you know, you're going to get a mixed number. Some will be on 2.3.4, others will be on 2.2, 3.0 devices, and now the 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich. And hopefully Ice Cream Sandwich will resolve that issue for Android, at least to some extent. But iPhone and iOS have really not had that problem and that lack of integration from day one. The last point to be made is build quality. I think nothing truly matches the build quality of an iOS device. It's, you know, it's made of nice case aluminum or glass, and you know, it's just really built well, sturdy. It just feels like good quality, and that partly because Apple really controls that whole manufacturing process, not allowing other manufacturers to kind of redesign their hardware. So you're going to get quality when you buy an Apple. So why did I choose iPad as my tablet of choice? Well, I chose it because I feel like a tablet is more of a consumer device, a consumption device, rather than a productivity device. And I don't think anything beats iOS when it comes to consumption. Its overall simplicity is second to none. And, it's good for children. It's good for parents, elderly. Everybody can use this device. It's really built that way. It loses some of the geek appeal and maybe some of the productivity functions that might exist better in Android. But that's not what I was going for in a tablet. I want it to be a consumption device, and for that reason, my thumbs up, iOS as tablet of choice. Alright, thanks for watching. This concludes this video. Next week I'll be discussing 10 grievances with iOS and 10 grievances with Android. If you like my videos, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And you can follow me on Twitter at AndroiPad. Thank you very much.